Good morning. It is February 17th. We reached the 100,000 mile mark yesterday, and now it is 8:37 in the morning. And we need to get going because we gotta make some money today. Because we need spending money for our date day tomorrow. So let's get a move on. Hopefully we're gonna have a good day. I at least want to clear $70 today. We are starting off with a half of a tank of gas, just a little under. So hopefully we won't have to dip into our Uber bank card too much to get gas to make a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. $6 to go 5.3 miles. Yeah, I can go and accept that. Alright, let's get going. We got our first order, and it is time to make some money. Alright, so we got Jennifer C's order. Yeah, it's just this. It's time to get going. This has to be like one of my smallest Uber Eats orders ever. Alright, let's get going. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's make our way out of here. So today's goal is to accept good orders that pay at least $1 per mile or greater. Not anything under. Even if it's gonna be a $30 payout, it doesn't make sense if you have to drive 40 miles or 50 miles to get it to the person. Alright, so we just dropped off Jessica's order. She can now eat her Chick-fil-A sandwich and relax. But I want to go ahead and show you something, okay? Occasionally, to make sure that you are the owner of the account, you're going to have to do this. Take a photo of yourself to confirm it's your account. And there we go. Now you can do Uber Eats again. Alright, so here's my plan right now. Let's go over to McDonald's, let's get a couple of cheap breakfast sandwiches, and let's also go and get a large vanilla iced coffee for Tiffany and I. Share quick. I'll go home, enjoy that with her, and then we will go back out and we'll go ahead and make some more money. Right now we're at $4. That's not counting the $2 tip that is currently processing. So I made enough money to cover breakfast. Maybe. $8.56 to go 28.9 miles. No thank you. Okay, so basically what I did is I got 2 of the crispy chicken McGriddle sandwiches at American cheese, and then 1 large vanilla iced coffee, because I don't think she's gonna want to drink a whole one by herself, and we typically will share one since neither of us will drink the entire thing. Let's go ahead, let's get home, let's go and get this to her. Let's take a moment to eat something together and just go from there.
Morning.
Good morning.
You had for Ryan.
Yep.
Are you at the
2 crispy chicken McGriddles with American cheese, and then
ice vanilla coffee?
Yep, the large one.
11.59 is the total.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's be an Uber Eats delivery driver for Tiffany, and let's go ahead and get her order to her. Now, I think I'm going to be a bad Uber Eats driver by drinking her drink ahead of her. Good. So yeah, I'm sorry, but your Uber Eats driver kind of drank some of your iced coffee. But don't worry, you don't have to tip instead. And he also got you your breakfast.
Now, the circumstances of Mildred's job sound a lot like a reshipping scam that the Postal Service warns about, where products can be acquired illegitimately, maybe using a stolen credit card, then laundered through a reshipper who just thinks he or she's sending things along. It's hard to imagine why that middle step would even ever be necessary.
All right, it's 9:53, and it's time to go back out and make some more money. So watching that news story, it actually made me a little bit worried about different companies that I'm applying for, and especially when you're sending your resume. And when you're sending your resume, you're not just sending your actual work environment history, you're also sending stuff like your phone number and your address and stuff like that. So a lot of these companies are collecting quite a bit about you. I just turned down a package delivery. $11.09 to go 27.1 miles for Bojangles. No. Decline. It is funny because there is orders coming in, but they're all just trash orders. We're talking like high mileage, low pay, and it's just not worth it. And it sucks, to be honest, right now. But maybe something will break and we're gonna get a good hit. I'm hoping for like a Target run because I love those. Those are pretty easy. And you also get some walk-in time in too, which is nice. Alright, let's get going. So, right now we're on hold for DoorDash. And we have to stay in the Tildenville area. Now, DoorDash, I know, they get a lot of $8.50 for first watch for 5 miles. Yeah, I'll accept that. That is funny that every time, no matter what time it is of the day, whenever I leave a certain zone and I say I'm going to go to another area to go and do Uber Eats or Dash in there, in that original zone, that's where I always get it in order to come in from. And this first watch order, $8.50 just for about 5 miles. It's not too bad. All right, let's go ahead. Let's make this U-turn and let's go get this order. All right, so we got a 4.2 mile run and we got Candy's order. Let's get it over to her. Alright, so we just did that drop off for Candy M, and that was an interesting long driveway. Let's go back to our home zone. Let's try to find some more orders. Maybe turn on Uber Eats just to see if anything actually pops up that's worthwhile. Because so far, Uber Eats has been dishing out junk. DoorDash, at least this was decent run. Quick, good money. And look at that house. Alright, that place looks freaking awesome as heck. Wow. Okay, so we just got Jennifer B's order. It is currently 10:35. She wants it by 10:48. SatNav says 10:43. We can definitely manage that. Let's go ahead and get this done. Alright, so immediately after this here, then we have to go over to Best Buy. We have to shop for an item for a gentleman on DoorDash. So we're lining them up, we're stacking these orders, we're getting this money, we're doing good. Okay, so we just got Jennifer's order dropped off from McDonald's over here at Stony Brook West. It is now time to go ahead and get this done. We gotta get to Best Buy, get our pickup. That way we can get that order done and over with. It is just one item, so that's not too bad. The downside to Best Buy often is trying to find a worker, especially if the item is locked up. Well, that was embarrassing and horrible, and we just lost out on $20, and on top of that, our time. So the card that DoorDash did give me to go and put in my virtual wallet is not the same one that they issued out into the post mail. And what really sucks about it is that they didn't tell me that crap. So I went into Best Buy, got the item, did all that for nothing. It's like, what the heck? Now I gotta go back home, try to get the card that's over on my downstairs desk, add it into the wallet, then come back and then try to do another order. And I had to be unassigned, and I lost money on that order because it's going to drop my rate and my time. Yeah, it's just proof that no matter what job you do, it's going to have its stressful moments. But it's how you go ahead and you recover is what matters most. That is how you decide what is going to be good on a day. In a moment, I'm going to chill, I'm going to relax, I'm going to re-add the new card, and then go from there. I'm going to make it a great day. Alright, now that we got calmed down, we got home, we got the physical red card, got that added. Alright, so we are going to go ahead, drop this over off at Riley's. It's a 3.6 mile run, about 10 minutes. Should be fairly decent. And then, let's get back to our zone because we are on dash in this area until 1 o'clock. So that's pretty good. Now, honestly, I am still really excited for tomorrow. Getting to go out with Tiffany or to Universal, ride Men in Black, relax a bit, and just enjoy some freaking time together. And also grab a burger at Mel's Drive-In. That I am super stoked for. Just having some relationship time like that to relax. I'm not gonna lie, it has been stressful since getting laid off from Dealer IT just out of the blue. And I need some time to decompress a little every now and then. Let's go and get this order done. Okay, so we just got done dropping off Riley's order. It is now time to get going and try to get some more orders in that are actually decent. An NYPD one did pop up, but it was for like $4 for about 4 miles. Not too good. So let's go ahead and let's get some more money in the bank. So right now for this DoorDash, we have made $16 so far, and we made about, I think it was like $4. Well, actually no, $6 over on Uber Eats for the day. And we've been doing this since about 9 o'clock or so. And then we took a little bit of a break to go ahead and eat breakfast with Tiff. There we go. Let's go and plug it in on SatNav. And let's get going. Alright, so in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head back to the Winter Garden Village area. Maybe see if there's also a CVS order pickup. Because now we have that freaking card. Panera Bread, $7.50 for 7.8 miles. No. Alright, so we got LaToya salad. We have a 16-minute run, 5.9 miles. Just into Windermere, not too bad. Let's get this order done. I have never been back here, but holy moly. Look at this place. That freaking looks awesome as heck. This is like if you were designing your dream home in the Sims game, what it would look like in real life. I love the beautiful dome on the top. I've never seen a property this gorgeous before. Look at this. This here is for sale. I could not imagine how much something like this would cost. But wow, is it beautiful. Alright, so we just got done dropping off the order for LaToya. It's now time to get back to the Winter Garden area, get some more orders in, and let's see what else we can get done. There's another example of a freaking awesome unit. Wow. They don't get much room for turning around here, do they? Alright, if you are interested in this property here in Windermere, 407-467-8069, Darrell, D-A-R-R-E-L-L, Sells, SELLS.com, one word. Alright, let's get going. Alright, so right now we are sitting at $25 from DoorDash for the day so far, and about $6 from Uber Eats. We're actually doing pretty good when it comes to DoorDash. We're getting orders that we can actually go and decline that just aren't worth it, so I'm going to extend this out until 2:30. Alright, so we just got Kim's order. We have a 5.3 mile run, about 15 minutes. Not too bad. Let's get this done. And let's go on to the next one, because now it is shaping up to be a good day. Except for that junky Pizza Hut order. Like, really? $2 for 5 miles? No. 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 That's not gonna work. Not today. Not when I actually want money. I gotta admit, one of the coolest parts about this job is that you get to see people from all different walks of life, from different economic backgrounds, and sometimes you get to meet them, other times you just get to see a glimpse at their life. And at times it can be quite inspiring. Alright, so we just got done going ahead and delivering the food to Miss Kim. It is now time to go ahead, get back to Winter Garden area, to the home zone, and just see what else we can get in. We're at $31.50 right now, so we're doing okay, not too horrible. Alright, good news. We just went ahead, turned on Uber Eats, and we just accepted a Starbucks order. It's a pretty good payout. So we're going to go ahead, collect that, and drop that off at Susan. The one thing that I do see as a positive for today is that we haven't had much downtime. We've been constantly getting orders back to back, so whether they were good, bad, or amazing, we've still been getting orders back to back. so here's the cool thing. We actually have an Uber Eats and a DoorDash from this same location. From this Starbucks right here. So we're gonna go ahead, first deliver one of them, and then we'll deliver the other. They're relatively close, so that's not bad. We're gonna start with the DoorDash order, and then go from there. Alright, so right now we are on our way to go ahead and complete our DoorDash order for Beneficial B. That is over in Quailmore. That's actually relatively close to us. It's about 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to drop off Susan's order. Alright, here we are in Stone Creek. It's not a gated neighborhood. We've been in here once before doing a drop-off, so it wasn't too bad. Alright, so now we are on to the next one, which is Susan's order. And she is 4.6 miles, or about 13 minutes away. Not too bad. Let's get this order done. And then I think we're gonna go ahead and pick up some dinner stuff. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead. Let's drop off this food order. That's in 2.9 miles. And then we'll go ahead and take our Walgreens order. And then go from there. I know that we're stacking orders like this, and I know that they're all back to back, but you see, that's what we need to do, because that is how we can go ahead and maximize our time and make the most money. Otherwise, we're just idly sitting around hoping that an order comes in, doing Facebook scrolling, and that's not how you're gonna make money. Alright, so we just got done when it came to our Susan B order. Now we're gonna go ahead, go over, do this shopping trip real quick for Walgreens, and then take a break. I know that Uber Eats will let me go ahead and shop at any store I want within that brand to pick up the items, any location. However, I don't know if DoorDash is like that, so I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm just gonna go to the DoorDash location that it's telling me for the pickup. And we have just reached 50 miles range on the gas, and we're under a quarter of a tank now. Alright, so it looks like we're getting some Gatorade in here and some Pepto-Bismol chewables. So not too bad. Let's get this done, and let's get home after we get this dropped off. Alright, so we just got that done. We have a 1.9 mile drive, and then we are done for now. And then it's break time. Let's go get this order dropped off. It has just been an up and down day, and maybe that's just how work is supposed to be. Who knows? What is interesting though is that when I went ahead and I did it, and I paid with that red card, is I had to go ahead and sign a portion of the receipt for the clerk. I have never had to do that before. That was interesting. Alright, so we are dropping off to Kim, and she says to leave at the door. That is one cool car. It's a Datsun, and what's interesting is that later they became Nissan. Alright, it is now time to go ahead and get back to the home area. Get dinner, go from there, and see where the rest of the day takes us. It is 2:15, and we have 44 miles of range right now. So yeah, we're gonna need some gas too. When it comes over to DoorDash currently, we're sitting at $45. And when it comes over to our Uber account, we're currently sitting at about $107.80. And I believe we made today $12.97. Ouch. Let's see what that tip brings in too. Because remember, up to an hour, they can go ahead and change the tip. And the estimate for this trip was $9.39. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave my DoorDash open. This way, if anything comes through, anything that's worthwhile, I can still capture it on the way home. So let's go ahead and just get it on going. Time to go get dinner. Buy one, get one? Interesting.
She's from
Alright, make sure you know.
$32. Done. So it is 4:30. I tried to go out a little bit, see if anything cooked for the last hour. Nothing did. It wasn't even worth recording at all. I basically decided on a parking lot. Here's the thing, okay? So for today, we spent $33 on dinner roughly. We made $19.57 on Uber Eats. Great. That puts our Uber Pro card. Let me check that. At $82.26. Because, remember, we spent $32 on dinner, okay? And we also put out $12 for breakfast between Tiffany and I. Now, on the Dash side, that's where it gets a little bit better. We made $45 over there. While it wasn't incredibly great, it wasn't incredibly bad either. So, here's the thing. Tomorrow, after Tiffany and I have our little day date, yeah, we spend a little money, just a little bit. We get a couple of meals over there at Universal. Come back. I go out for a couple hours. I can go ahead and try to make at least maybe $25 in that time. I make that $25. There we go. Honestly, today has been okay. It's had its downs, like the whole suspension of that red card, the original one that I was given. But it's had its ups too. Like when we got to go to a single Starbucks and branch two different companies right from there. DoorDash and Uber Eats, and double stack them. And one was on this side of town, one was on this side of town. And we got to go ahead and accomplish that. That was a great thing. But now it is time to go ahead and end the day. For everything. It's 4:33. I don't see going back out is going to be feasible. But I hope you guys have a good night. And honestly, I can honestly go to bed tonight thinking, I went out today, I worked, I made a little bit of money, and I fed the family. And I put gas in the car. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Do I want to make more? Of course I do. Do I want to get a full-time job back in IT? Of course I do. But in the meantime, I need to do something that's going to hold me over until I get there. And while I was at Publix, I met a young lady who was also doing this kind of stuff too. And Tiffany and I were talking with her, and she was doing Instacart. The only problem is, I'm on a waiting list for Instacart, and she told me how she does Publix, she does Costco, and other places. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And it gets her drop-offs in a relatively close area to her. I thought, yeah, that's awesome too. Now I just gotta wait for the approval for that app. But in the meantime, I'm gonna stick with what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep filling out applications. I'm gonna keep kicking butt at that. Because basically, that's all I can do right now. One thing I have learned is that you can't depend on... Well, food stamps said that they're going to go ahead and give you that. Food stamps said they're going to expedite it. No. That's just a load of BS. Just that way you hang up the phone quicker and you get off of their call center line. Unemployment said this. They're going to go ahead and get you to the top of their pile. Yeah, still on a hold for that. And yeah, it's like $275 a week. Help with bills, but I can't depend on it. All I can do is depend on myself and what I can do. And that is get out, make money, and go from there and keep filling out applications. And then looking out for those dog crap scams. Like what I showed you earlier with that lady. But overall today, I'm going to go to bed happy tonight. And I hope you guys do too. Because tomorrow, we're just going to say screw it for a few hours. We're going to relax. And we're going to have some fun. Because every now and then, you need a decompression fun day. Alright guys, not to mention, I think the car does too. But remember, Tiffany don't know that. She thinks that we're going over to Pine Hills and Kirkman to go ahead and do deliveries. So that'll be interesting. But for now, I hope you have a good night and thank you so much for being with. I'll see you guys tomorrow.